Hi, welcome to Exploring Lean. I'm your host, Julia Kirby. Today we will be talking to Robert Martichenko, CEO of Lean Core, about purpose and value alignment. Welcome, Robert.
Hi, Julia. Great to be here.
Let's get started. Good. So at the very basic level, what is the purpose of a lean leader?
Well, I think that from a lean leadership point of view, the ultimate purpose is for a leader to build a lean enterprise and for the leader to be part of a team that's focusing on the right things, on value to the customer, eliminating waste, and truly creating that culture that's going to result in a lean enterprise.
And how does that relate back to the 3 Ps that you talk about: people, purpose, and process?
Well, I'd like to take credit for those things. Dr. Womack actually taught me about people, purpose, and process. But at the end of the day, this is really the framework and the 3 most important elements of the work that as lean leaders that we need to do. The first thing is around people. Let's face it, we still are a culture where it is people that are doing the things in our world, the brave new world that hasn't quite hit us yet. And so what we recognize is that people still buy from people. Organizations don't buy from organizations. People buy from people. People work with people. So what we have to appreciate is that if we're actually going to change a culture and create a lean culture, then we need to understand that this is primarily and first and foremost about people. Secondly, though, when we get into purpose and process, to really embrace the element of people, we need to recognize that people need to understand the purpose of our work. Why are we doing this? What is the purpose of the work that we're doing relative to our customer, relative to the internal teams that we're working with? And then that will lead us to process. As lean thinkers, as lean leaders, we are process-driven people. We believe that what the customer feels at the end of the day is nothing more than the aggregate of all of our processes combined. And once we realize that the real work is around eliminating waste and making those processes completely value-add for the customer, then we're going to recognize that we'll build the lean culture and ultimately the lean enterprise.
Great, thank you. And more than once, I've heard you refer to, in particular, the importance of leading the corporate vision. Can you just give us, some idea of what that means and, how you can take that corporate vision and actually, be a lean leader with that corporate vision?
Well, let's go back to the people question, right? At the end of the day, people need to know where we're going, and I can tell you I've learned this and continue to learn this firsthand with Lean Core. We're still a young company. We're approaching our 10th year anniversary, and we've had significant growth over the years. And one of the things that I've realized is that when things get busy and we're not sharing the vision, we're not sharing the roadmap, and people aren't engaged in the business, then you don't have as much energy, and people don't feel as engaged as they really need to be part of the whole. So I think that a lean leader needs to recognize that it's very important to stop, to understand where are we going, to understand that people at all levels in the organization are part of the trip. So they deserve the respect to be told where, and to be asked about as well, and to be engaged in where are we heading and why are we heading there. Okay,
so what you're saying is it's important to connect people to that vision and help lead them so that they feel like they're a part of it.
No question.
Awesome. So, as this occurs, there are typically many negative impacts along the way in a lean implementation that just occur naturally, especially in the very beginning. Can you explain, just a little bit of how you can assure people that through the corporate vision and through purpose and alignment and through processes that it's going to be okay and it's going to be better? It's just that learning curve in the beginning. Yeah, well, the word assure is kind of a powerful word, and I think what you're talking about is we call it the valley of despair, and this is this valley of where we're in our traditional culture and we're trying to move to a lean culture, a culture based on problem solving.
But to get from here to there, we have to go through the valley of despair. And I call it the valley of despair is when I have to do things the old way and I have to do things the new way as well. And this is where if people don't understand what it is that we're trying to accomplish, they're going to be saying, well, how is this lean? How is this more efficient? How is this more productive? I used to work 10 hours a day, now I'm working 12 hours a day, and this is supposed to be good for me, this is supposed to be good for the organization. So we need to and this starts with the project management and the communication at the beginning. We need to understand that as we start to drive different thinking and drive process discipline and problem solving, there's going to be some challenges along the way. The good news is organizations have been at this now for over 20 years, and in some respects for 100 years if we really get into the history of true lean thinking. But so the good news is we know what the challenges are. When we implement a new customer, we know those things that are going to go wrong, even with all of our pre-planning and all of our containment strategies. We know these things are going to go wrong. So it's up to us to communicate those things up front to make sure that when they do go wrong and everybody's going, oh my gosh, what's happening? We can just go, well, we're exactly where we should be, and we just need to get through the valley of despair.
Good answer. So it sounds like as long as you're connecting people to your purpose and your vision and really communicating with them, then putting them in that situation to where they're actually involved is going to be that insurance.
Make sure that people are the #1 most important aspect of this in all cases, and not even a close second, purpose and process. But this is about people, and then we need to understand that the work is about the processes, and it all starts with making sure what is the purpose of what we're trying to accomplish, what is the purpose that we have to our customer, and how are we going to use all of that information to build the lean enterprise.
Great. Well, thanks for being here today, Robert. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for joining Exploring Lean, and we'll see you next time.